My name is Diane Salazar, and I am the State Director for CTE, and welcome back to the room. I've been with the agency for about 18 years. Prior to that, I was a Family and Consumer Sciences teacher for 12 years in Austin ISD. I grew up in Dallas ISD. Well, I went to school in Dallas ISD. I graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School, if anybody is here from Dallas ISD. So anyway, I'm happy to be here, happy that you're here. And so what I'd like to do this afternoon is I am just going to give you a brief overview of career and technical education in Texas. So first thing we're going to do, you had to apply to be here. So congratulations for being accepted into the programs. Yay. So what I would like for you to do first before we get started, so we can find out, why did you apply? Why did you go through that process? I mean, there's a reason why you did. So tell your neighbor what you would like to learn from this experience. Just talk to them just for a couple minutes and tell each other why you applied, why you're here. Okay. All right, I hope you've had a few minutes to just kind of share with each other why you're here. I mean, you had to leave your school district, your school, and your family, your kids to be here. So we want to find out why you decided to partake of this experience. Anyone want to share? Somebody share. Why did you come? We want to be sure that we're going to meet your needs. So tell us why you're here.
Tell us who you are and where you're from. Okay. Thank you. My name is Melvin Barnes. I go by Elder Barnes. I am a assistant principal at DeSoto High School, which is just southwest of Dallas, Texas. I am the CTE program at the high school because of the fact of I'm responsible for hiring. CTE teachers is not the easiest thing to do. Also from compliance and on the network with administrators and counselors and my craft. So.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Who else? Why are you? Okay, here we go.
Good afternoon. My name is Shawan Simpson. I'm from Channelview ISD in Houston, Texas. And I came to the academy for a couple of reasons. But one of the main reasons, besides getting away, we all had the same idea. Come on, people. Okay. But I really want to see what was new with the CTE. I've been to one of the academies, well, not the academy, one of the trainings before in Dallas. And so when I actually read this academy, it seemed like it was more going to be more in-depth, with the assignments and the networking. So I wanted to come around other people who are doing the same thing, kind of bounce off some ideas to really understand what it is that they want to do with CTE and how we're going to do it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Anyone else? One more?
I'm Norris Sebastian. Can everybody hear me? I'm Norris Sebastian. I'm from Del Valley ISD, a new CTE coordinator in Del Valley. If you don't know where Del Valley is, you're sitting in it right now. Del Valley School District. It is, I'm looking for framework. I'm looking for someone who's done this successfully. What have they done? Give me the 6 steps. Let me go forward. If anybody has that, come over to the table. I have coffee. So that's really what I'm looking for. Is how to do my job more effectively and model what some of you guys in here have done to make it successful.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Well, great. So if you're new to CTE, raise your hand if you're new. Okay, quite a few hands. So what I'm going to do in these few minutes is just kind of give you an overview of CTE in Texas, overview of some of the statewide resources that are available for CTE teachers and for you, and give you an opportunity to make some connections with some other CTE folks. Okay, the way CTE is organized in Texas is by career clusters. Back prior to 2005, prior to the new Perkins of 2006, Perkins 4, we were organized primarily by program areas. We had agriculture, we had family consumer sciences, and I mean, we still do, But that's the way we were organized. But now we're organized, Family and Consumer Sciences, Health Science, TNI, Marketing, Tech Ed. And we still do have the programs, but now they're organized around the career clusters, the 16 career clusters. And so I want to introduce you to the statewide coordinator, John Ellis. Please stand. John does architecture, arts AV, information technology, manufacturing, and STEM. Thank you, John. Then we've got Ron Whitson. He does our agriculture, government, health science, law, public safety, corrections and security, marketing, and transportation, distribution, and logistics. Thank you. And then we have Dell Fowler, who is right now working with business management, administration, education and training, finance, hospitality and tourism, and human services. Thank you. This is your TEA staff. If you have, give them a round of applause, because they... if you have any questions about any of the career clusters, any of the programs, I mean, we get calls all the time from CTE directors out in the field, and so feel free to give us a call. The way the state is organized, you've got the school districts and the charters down the foundation, and then we have some folks that are in the middle. These are the education service centers, and each service center has a CTE specialist. And so if you're a CTE specialist, will you please stand? Okay, let's give them a round of applause. And then there's TEA, but we are really we try to be a team, the Education Service Centers in TEA, to help the districts and the charters at the foundation level. Okay, and so we've got our service centers, and then the TEA staff also is divided up not only by cluster, but John Ellis works with regions 1 through 7, Ron 8 through 13, and then Dale 14 through 20. So if for some reason you can't, get in touch with your ESC specialist and you need to call the agency, this is the person that you'll call by region. This is just a graph or a picture of the service centers, and it's overlaid by the workforce development boards. I lost my animations on this computer, so you can't really see it, but just know that there's 28 boards. So as you try to work to integrate workforce needs into your programs, there's a map like this available to you. And our workforce people will tell you how you can get this map. And I really like to show this photo. Like I said, my animations aren't working because I was going to show you the enrollments and everything about the state, but I do want to show you this photo. This is a photo of the Ron Whitson Agricultural Science Center in Mansfield ISD. Isn't that great? This is Ron Whitson right here. I mean, how often does somebody have a campus named after them? So we're really proud of Ron. We're proud of the Ron Whitson Agricultural Science Center in Mansfield ISD. I love that photo. Okay, as far as demographics, this is statewide, Hispanic-wide, African American, Asian, 2 or more races, American Indian, Pacific Islander. You can see the bar graph there. And also how we are as far as economically disadvantaged and limited English proficient students. So education in Texas, how does it work? Well, we've got education laws and rules, and often when people are calling TEA, it's to get some clarification on a law or a rule, and so that's what we do. That's why we're there. But first, you've got the Texas Education Code, and our legislators will pass bills, and once the bill passes, it becomes a law, and that law gets recorded in the Texas Education Code. Then we've got our rules. Those are recorded in the Texas Administrative Code. This is where the State Board of Education puts their rules. It's 15 members on the SBOE. The governor appoints the chair. But they do draft rules, and they always do consider public comment. And, of course, they're published in the Texas Administrative Code. This is where you will find the text for CTE in the Texas Administrative Code. And as Shelley Ramos, my manager, mentioned earlier, the texts are going to be implemented in 2017-18. State Board of Educator Certification, they also post their rules in the Texas Administrative Code. And then you've got Commissioner Williams. He was appointed by the governor. He also can propose rules. And those rules, when they pass, are in the Texas Administrative Code. And then TEA staff, we're state employees, and we're part of the state administrative unit. We work with primary and secondary education in Texas. And when you call, what we do is we interpret and implement also the education laws and rules. We provide support to the SBOE when they do have meetings in Austin. We do support them, and we provide support to the SBEC, State Board for Educator Certification. So here's just a little graphic about the TEC laws, TAC rules, and then we've got the TEA guidelines and policies. So CTE. Take a moment and write down a word or some words or phrases describing what CTE is. Just write it down real quick, because then I'm going to ask you to share that with your neighbor probably. Just write down some words or phrases describing or defining CTE. What is CTE? You're in CTE, but what is it? Just what you have up in the top of your head. Don't do a Google search. Just what is it? Okay, you wrote something down. Tell your neighbor, tell your other neighbor what you wrote down. How would you describe or define CTE? Okay, thank you. All right, Ron has the microphone. Anybody have a really good definition to define or describe CTE? What does CTE do for kids? Here's one right here. There's one back there.
Okay, so I chose, we talked about, what's your name again? Chantel. We chose empowerment, because if you give a kid a skill or a trade, you empower them for the future because they have something to look forward and work towards.
Very good. Thank you. Very good. Anyone else? CTE.
Oh, we talked about what does CTE mean to us at our table here. Careers, real world application, learning skills. And then we also differentiated between technology and technical. So in other words, career and technology education versus career and technical education. Two very different things.
Thank you very much. And thank you for bringing that up, because for a long time in our state, we were known as career and technology education. And then with the passage of Perkins 4, when that law changed from vocational to technical, in Texas now we're career and technical education. So remember that. And who's Kate? We don't know Kate. No, Kate left a long time ago. So remember, there's no more Kate. It's CTE. All right. So who else? Who else can define CTE or describe it? Those were excellent descriptions. Anyone else? All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much for participating. So what I have right here is a definition of CTE. So some of you probably thought about this. Maybe you didn't verbalize it, but this is what we have on the screen. It's organized educational activities, organized. Coherent sequence of courses. And they do provide individuals with the academic standards and the technical skills to prepare students for further education in careers that are current or emerging. I heard that when y'all talked about that earlier. CTE also provides technical skill proficiency in an industry recognized credential, a certificate, or an associate's degree. And CTE may include prerequisite courses, not remedial courses. That's very important, especially at the community college, because we have CTE programs at the community college as well. And then what's really, I think, meaningful to students is that it's applied learning. And so the applied learning contributes to their academic knowledge, higher order reasoning, problem solving, work attitudes, general employability skills, technical skills, occupation-specific skills, and also a knowledge of all aspects of an industry, including entrepreneurship. And that's one thing about CTE is when we do introduce students to different occupations, we make sure that they learn all about the industry and not just keep it so narrow and focused, but they learn about all aspects of an industry. So what is the purpose? You know, it's a national initiative to increase competitiveness in the U.S. workforce in the global economy. And so again, it's the core academic skills with the employability skills and the job-specific skills that help students. And that is the purpose of CTE. As far as enrollment in CTE, as you can see from 2007 on this chart, enrollment has continued to grow, and we're over 1,141,000 students in CTE. And these are students that are Code 1s, students that are just participating, they're just taking the course, they're not in a coherent sequence. Code 2 students are in a coherent sequence of courses. They have that 4-year plan to take a coherent sequence of courses. And then we have Code 3s, which, you know, did you know that that was going away? Code 3 is going away. This is the last year that we're going to have Code 3s. And those were what were known as tech prep students. But last year for Code 3, and only seniors can be coded Code 3 this year. As far as enrollment by clusters, as you can see, the Arts AV cluster has the highest enrollment, followed by business, and then ag. And then health science has really been growing. Have you noticed that? That those programs are really increasing, and the program has really grown. Now, we've got something that is required for CTE, and that's called the state plan. And that's one of my responsibilities, is to update the state plan annually, and I have to send it into the U.S. Department of Education. But you can find the state plan on the TA website, and the state plan was first introduced when we got the new Perkins law, and we update it annually. But one thing I wanted to point out, because the teachers this morning, they had a panel of a career and technical student organization panel, and we really encouraged them to start a CTSO, because that is the expectation, that a teacher that's teaching career and technical education has a career and technical student organization. That is the expectation, because like it says, this is the Texas Education Code 29.182(3D) says that a CTE program includes, as an integral part of the program, participation by students and teachers in activities of career and technical student organizations that are supported by the agency and the State Board of Education. So when you go back, you know, encourage your teachers to have a CTSO, because it is an integral part of the program, and it's in the Texas Education Code. I lost all my animations. What I was going to do here is I was going to show you all the CTSOs that are supported in Texas, but this is a new one. Actually, this was the FEA, Future Educators Association, and they have changed their name to Educators Rising. But we have Educators Rising, we have FCCLA, Texas FFA, FBLA, BPA, DECA, Skills USA, and did I leave anything else? And TSA. So there's plenty of organizations around for students and teachers to become involved and to integrate it into their classroom. And it's really not extra work. It's a way to blend for students to take what they're learning in the classroom and applying it in different situations. It's an opportunity for students to be involved in locally or regionally or statewide or even national. And so I'm hoping that when you go back that you do encourage your teacher to start their CTSO if they don't already have one. And as you can see, this is last year was the first year that there's over 200,000 students that are involved in CTSOs. I just wanted to give you one example of how one district really supports their CTSO. What they do is anytime their CTSO members say they're going to nationals, the way they support the CTSO, and I don't know if you do this or not, but I thought this was a good model, is that the administration will pay for the registration and they pay for the student hotel lodging. And then they spread the cost out, and then the CTE director will pay for the teacher hotel and lodging, and they will also pay for student transportation. And then the local chapter, the teacher and the students, they pay for anything additional. Like if they're going to Orlando, they'll pay maybe to go to Disney is it Disney World? Or any going out to eat or anything special like that. But that way you can see that for financially, the cost for really, for the teacher participating and really advancing can be spread across the administration, the CTE director, and then the local chapter. And it really makes you look good as a CTE director when your CTSO is really doing outstanding work. Okay, wanted to mention some things about state leadership activities. Tomorrow I will be talking to the Leadership Academy a little bit more about the Perkins Law, and that's what governs CTE, the federal law that governs CTE here in Texas. But some of the money that we do get from that federal grant we use for state leadership activities. So I wanted to make that, want you to know about this. One of the activities that we fund is the Career and Technical Special Populations Training and Resource Center. So if you haven't visited this center, they focus on special populations, not only special ed, special education, but they have a lot of resources for teachers and for administrators, and even parents can go to this website and find resources to help them. The Advanced Technical Credit Program, that's one of the projects from the state level, and this is for students who want to start earning college credit while still in high school, and they earn it in escrow. So when they go to the college and take at least 6 hours, then they can get that credit transcripted. But the teacher does have to go through training. They have to qualify. They have to meet SACS requirements, and so it's a really good program. We work very closely with our Texas Labor Market, or Texas Workforce Commission, and they've got the Texas Labor Market and Career Information Center. Lots of resources. They will be here on Thursday and really tell you about everything that they have available for you. Programs of study. This is something that if you take federal Perkins funds, you have to implement at least one program of study. And so this is one of our projects. It's the Achieve Texas. That's what we call CTE in Texas, Achieve Texas. And Dr. Karen Alexander at Texas Tech University is the project director for that. And she will talk to you a little bit later on. We also fund educational excellence cluster specialists. Currently, we've got them at Texas A&M, Stephen F. Austin, University of North Texas. And so what they do is they provide resources for teachers for the various different career clusters. And then recently what we've added, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, we contracted with them to create a work-based learning online course. And so if you have a teacher that's teaching a practicum or a career prep and they need to have the training and safety and labor laws, now there's a way for them to do it online. So, but you know, this is not the only way. The service centers still do face-to-face, work-based career preparation training, and so it might be that the teacher wants to do face-to-face and then maybe supplement it with online training. So again, I'm just so happy that you're here. I hope that you enjoy the conference, that you get everything that you need out of it to help you be a better CTE director and a better counselor and understand CTE a little bit more so we can help those students out there in CTE. Thank you very much.